living on this much money is just really difficult nowadays. You know, it's 2025. You'll be yourselves when you first come over. You probably won't spend that much, and then suddenly when you've been here a bit, your costs just escalate. And the first massive thing to mention is that, you know, the strong baht. I mean, it's very, very strong these days. It's changed a lot over the years. I'll put it on the screen now what it is in this, you know, in 2025 now. You know, it's gone up a lot. So you know, your pension now, if you're coming over here, is going to be a lot less than it would have been even a few years ago, never mind 13, 14 years ago. So it's changing all the time, and maybe it's going to get stronger and stronger, guys. So, you know, the fact that you're probably going to need more money just for this one reason alone, guys. I mean, this general inflation as well. People always in Thailand, they're moaning, oh, things are not as cheap as they used to be. They've kind of gone up, especially in certain areas. For sure, in rural areas still, it's very, very cheap. You know, and you can live on, you know, maybe $1,000 in them areas. Most other areas, you know, it is a lot more expensive than that area. They're going to eat Western food, they're going to go out, they're going to socialize, they're going to do activities, and you know, they're going to probably own a car and do all these things. And this kind of thing, you know, you can't do this for $1,000 a month. Absolutely no way. The next is healthcare. I mean, most of you guys are probably going to be on a retirement visa. You're over 50 years old, so you need medical insurance to even be on the retirement visa. So, you know, if you're over 50, and especially if you've got pre-existing medical conditions, then insurance is going to cost more than the average person in Thailand, like myself, who's a bit younger, not that much younger, but a little bit younger, and I'm on a different visa and I've had no medical health problems. And I actually don't pay for insurance. I actually get free insurance from my wife, so I'm in a lucky position. And I'm going to be doing a video, or I've done a video already, maybe it's gone out already, about health insurance and probably the best company you can get in Thailand, guys. Most of you guys coming over to Thailand, you want a kind of Thai lifestyle and Western lifestyle. You know, I don't think anybody lives 100% Thai in Thailand if they're a Westerner. Well, there's very, very few people that do that, and a lot of Westerners don't want to do this. So if you want this kind of 50-50 kind of, you know, Western lifestyle, Thai lifestyle kind of mixed together, then that costs money. You know, Western lifestyle in Thailand obviously costs a lot more than a Thai lifestyle. You know, if you want to go to a nice gym, you want to go out for Western food, you want to just do the things that, you know, a Western lifestyle involves, you know, going to stay in 3-star hotels, in, you know, little mini breaks away. You've got to sometimes fly back home to your own country. These are kind of Western lifestyle things. You know, Thai people don't do this. They don't fly back to England or America, you know. Only middle class do, maybe, or upper class in Thailand. You know, the normal kind of living on a Thai budget in Thailand, then, you know, you can't really do this. You haven't got enough money to be doing that. Oh, just do us a massive favour, guys. Just press subscribe on the channel. Just help us out. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs before Christmas. Cheers, and back to the video. Rent in certain areas is definitely creeping up a little bit, especially in some of the big five, like retirement destinations. You have to just pick wisely. Still can find good deals, actually, guys. You just need to look around a little bit. Be careful of, you know, maybe some agents, you know, especially if you've never lived in Thailand before. Just be a little bit careful, you know, maybe overpriced condos or overpriced houses, guys, for rent. So be careful about this. But you will, in them areas, I mean, everything is, you know, more money in some of the top 5 kind of retirement destinations, because they know they can charge a bit more, because people are actually, you know, wanting to stay in these locations, especially if it's a good location. Yeah, if it's not a good location, you can still get it very, very cheap, but like, people don't really want to live in these locations. The whole reason why it's a good location is people want to live there. Thailand's very cheap still, but there is a rising cost in Thailand than there used to be, guys. There really is, and it's going up slowly. Don't let that put you off. I mean, it's just, I want to make you informed that, you know, it isn't, you can't really live on $1,000 a month anymore. It's just very difficult, guys, to have a good life out here on this much money. Now, do some people do this? Absolutely. You know, some people do, but I think most of the people that do this live out in the countryside. They're married to a Thai and they're on a marriage visa. They already have their own house, and then they're just living very cheaply, you know, cooking food at home and living a very rural life. Then I think $1,000 a month is fine. You know, if you've got a motorbike, maybe run a truck, you could do. But, you know, you probably got no health insurance, you're on a marriage visa, and, you know, you live in a pretty just average kind of life out there. This is probably possible. When you're living in Thailand full time, there's always some emergency that comes up, like your car breaks down. You got to go back to your own country, something's happened, some reason you got to go back. Like for me now, my brother's just emigrated to Australia, Perth, so I'm like, oh, I need to go see him sometime now. And that's another expense I've got to suddenly think about, as well as going back to my own country where my mum and dad live in England. Thailand's still a cheap country, don't get me wrong, but I just think it's a bit outdated now what people are saying about, you know, you can come, some tourists come here and they do YouTube and they say about, oh, you can live here on $1,000 a month. Yeah, you can, but I think it's very individual, you know, to live on that amount of money. And as I said before, you know, in the countryside, rurally, people married to Thais, yeah, there's lots of them doing this, you know, for sure. And they're the guys that, you know, they're probably in the comments saying, I can do this, what are you talking about? And yeah, that's for you. But I think a lot of retirees or expats coming to Thailand, you know, they're not in the same boat as this. Or maybe other guys that have come here, you know, they're very, very young still, and they're living on a very much a budget. They're trying to make themselves in life, so they're living here very, very cheaply, and they're kind of, and maybe they're joking with themselves a bit that, you know, maybe they just haven't got the money yet, so they're having to live very frugally. And nothing wrong with that, people earlier in life. I did that when I first came here. You know, I hadn't got much money, so I really tightened down, you know, and lived on a lot less than I wanted to. And the good thing is, in Thailand, you can do this if you want to. And, you know, some people are very happy, you know, spending this amount of money, living rurally in Thailand. You know, normally they've met a wife out here and they're very, very happy, and good luck to you. You know, I'm nothing against you guys, but I just think a lot of people coming over here, I think it's a bit false telling people that you can always live on $1,000 US. It's very individual on the person. You know, everyone's very different what they expect. You know, some guys come over here and they really expect, you know, you live on $1,000 and have like luxury over here, and it's like, no. It doesn't work like that. $1,000 US over in Thailand, yes, you can live in rural areas, even in Pattaya and Hua Hin, but your lifestyle will be compromised. You won't have health insurance, you won't be on a retirement visa, you need some other kind of visa, and just think your quality of life won't be that good. Now, would it still be better than the UK or America? Probably, because at least you're in the sunshine. But, you know, you have to think about this yourself and watch your own budget. I mean, I don't want to put off guys coming to Thailand with 30,000 baht, $1,000 US. You can come over here and live on this, and lots of people do it. And it's fine, you know, I'm just making it real about what to expect for that money when you're out here, you know. I challenge some of you guys here to have 100% Thai lifestyle for a month and see how much you spend. And it probably will only be about 30,000 baht a month, or $1,000 US. But after that month, you'll be fed up probably, and you'll want some kind of Western comfort, some Western food, and something a little bit different, guys. Just put down in the comments, guys, if you're living on $1,000 US in Thailand at the moment. And if you are, how is life here? Have you got a great life? Are you married to a Thai? Probably. Let's have a look in the comments, see what we've got. Thanks for watching the video today. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Watch this one. What here? There should be some video come up here. Watch it. It's pretty good.